What's going on, A to Z Sports? Sam Phelan here live for a Titans update. It's Titans at 2, and it's not 2 o'clock. We are at 4:30 p.m. today on a Friday afternoon. Got a little delayed with the daily schedule of Titans media today, but still wanted to come on and provide a quick update for all of you that are interested in tuning in either live or afterwards on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Here with A to Z Sports, because we have Will Levis updates, an interview with DeAndre Hopkins, and then a full injury report as well from the Tennessee Titans before divisional matchup against the Houston Texans in Houston. Very excited to provide all of you with an update. Before I do that, a reminder that today's version of Titans at 2 is powered, as always, by Doughbird Pizza and Rotisserie. Doughbird Pizza and Rotisserie is where you're sure to find flavor, located out in Green Hills with a crave-worthy yet unexpected duo of pizza and rotisserie chicken all in one. Also powered here by SNHU, that's Southern New Hampshire University, and their sports management program. Link in the bio to go check out SNHU. More on them later in the show. But the man that you see as your thumbnail for the show and the man that you see in your title, DeAndre Hopkins, an interesting guy to take a look at this week because D-Hop, surprise to me, probably a surprise to many of you as well, making his first ever return to Houston while not playing as a member of the Houston Texans. DeAndre Hopkins, since leaving the Texans, has not played a game in Houston. He will do that this Sunday. I like to think this is a motivating factor for DeAndre Hopkins. My favorite pick for the weekend is DeAndre Hopkins over in receiving yards at 59.5 on BetMGM and BetMGM.com. And I think, one, we kind of have seen D-Hop take sort of a step back the last 2 weeks. He has always been better with Will Levis than he has been with Ryan Tannehill, so it didn't shock me that last week wasn't his best performance. I think he takes that step forward again this weekend with with Will Levis back under center. And I think that for a guy in D-Hop who is incredibly motivated by his legacy, incredibly motivated by proving his haters and doubters wrong, that he absolutely wants to go into Houston and just score touchdowns, get receiving yards, look at the fans and say, hey, remember me? I love you, Houston fans, but remember when this organization traded me away? That's what I believe he's thinking. That's, of course, not what he said. D-Hop has done this thing pretty much all season. Objectively hilarious. He kind of likes to troll the media as often as possible, but he likes to go and tweet like, look at all the haters who didn't want me. And then in person, he's like, I don't care about any of that. I'm just worried about where I'm at right now. So he downplays it. I do think this is still a motivating game for him, a huge revenge game for DeAndre Hopkins. But here is the conversation myself and other members of Titans media had with D-Hop in the Titans locker room earlier this afternoon.
Chance to get 1,000 yards maybe in this game for the season. What does that mean to you after not getting it the last couple of years?
After not getting what the last couple games?
Yards.
You said last couple seasons you got? It doesn't mean anything to me, honestly. I'm about my team success, team winning. That's really all that matters to me.
Return to Houston, is that kind of something that you're keeping in the back of your mind, that you get a chance to get back where you started your career?
Nah, not really. I live in Houston, so I don't really put too much emphasis on playing against Houston or the Texans. I played against them in Arizona, so and in the last game, it's always fun just playing against any NFL team to me, so I really don't put any emphasis on, me playing there.
You've talked in the past though about like the teams that I guess didn't want you or didn't think that you still had elite receiver capabilities. This is a team that traded you away, so there's no level of going back like into the place where the team traded you away, proving that you're still that guy.
No, I'm a man of Christ. I forgive. Love all, serve all.
I know
Any chance Vrabel lets you sleep in your own bed at home Saturday night, or is he going to make you stay at the hotel like everybody else?
He'll probably make me stay at the hotel. I would love to sleep in my bed the night before, though.
Will it be different going in the opposing team's locker room, seeing people, whether it's support staff at the stadium, people you knew well from down there? Maybe you thought about what that might be like, and you're looking forward to seeing some faces you hadn't seen?
I think that's probably what I'm looking forward to the most, just seeing familiar faces and the good folks that work there, and obviously some of the fans as well. A lot of loyal Houston fans. My first year was 2-14, and I remember that place still, having an audience.
You got any spots or restaurants you want to take people to this weekend?
Man, I got some spots maybe after the game. Houston food a little heavy, so you got to eat that after. You got to eat that after the game, not before.
There is DeAndre Hopkins, a very funny, hilarious media availability, objectively, for the Titans wide receiver. And Danny in the comment section, I see you, says, Sam, you called his response perfectly. Yeah, not to toot my own horn or anything. I've been in enough DeAndre Hopkins media availabilities at this point to know kind of what his responses are going to be to some of the questions we ask him. So if you tuned into this morning's morning show with A to Z Sports, myself and Zach Bingham kind of discussed D-Hop's return to Houston, and this is exactly what I expected him to say. Also hilarious, though, that he says, I'm a man of Christ, I forgive, is his response to the idea that the Texans traded him away and didn't want him. Yeah, he can say it all he wants. He can say whatever he wants. I'm not buying it. Nobody's buying it. DeAndre Hopkins absolutely wants to go to Houston and rub it in the face of ownership and anybody else that had anything to do with him getting traded away, that was a mistake and you're going to forever rue the day. Yes, he does love the city of Houston. He does still live there. Yes, he does love Houston fans. They were very loyal and very good to him in his time there. I don't think D-Hop wishes the worst on Titans fans or on Texans fans. Sorry. And I don't think he wants to show Texans fans, look what you're missing out on. That's not what he's out there to do. But when you have the level of swagger that DeAndre Hopkins has, when you have the reputation to protect that he has, you have to go and show out in these games. He knows that, and that is why Sunday, very important performance. It's also why I'm taking the over on the D-Hop receiving yards. The other reason why is quarterback Will Levis. So I'll provide you guys with an update on Will Levis here in just a couple minutes. We'll hear from Titans head coach Mike Vrabel. Before we do it, a reminder that Titans at 2 is powered by Doughbird Pizza and Rotisserie. That's where you're sure to find flavor. Weekdays, Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. is their happy hour. That's going on right now. So you can go ahead to Doughbird right this second in Green Hills and go get their happy hour with deals starting at $5. Any occasion, whether it's a football game, whether it's a date night, whether it's a family dinner, Doughbird is the spot for it. It really has an ambiance that is fun and unique and can fit and match really any vibe. You can sit at the bar, like I mentioned, for happy hour and watch a game. You can sit down at a table, or you can even get food to go. They're the go-to spot for to-go food in the neighborhood. Convenient parking, with a family on the fly takeout bundle to feed the entire family. So whatever you're looking for, please go check out my friends at Doughbird. I cannot recommend them enough. I've had a couple people who watched the show already tell me, hey, Sam, I went and checked out Doughbird. Loved it. So yeah, highly recommend. That's Doughbird Pizza and Rotisserie located in Green Hills. And yeah, Lucas says, hey, this is 2 p.m. Pacific time. Yeah, guys, I'm sorry again. The schedule today got all out of sorts with the media stuff. We weren't able to go with Titans at 2, but I can't miss a day. I can't miss an update for you guys. And there's a bunch of reasons why. DeAndre Hopkins interview being one of them. And then number 2, the Titans have announced that Will Levis is on pace to start Sunday. He is expected to start Sunday. Here's a little snippet of what Mike Vrabel said to the media after practice today.
Good. Yeah, I mean, he's in line to start, so that's good. You know what I mean? Being able to get him back and continue to get this work and help us find a way to win a road game within the division.
So there is Mike Vrabel. Will Levis on track to start. All signs point to him starting. No real shock here, given how he has looked throughout the week. Has looked healthy in practices. A really, really fast recovery from where he looked to be on Friday to where he looked to be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of this week to now go out there and play. I'm pumped up about this. I think all of you should be pumped up about this too. I know Titans fans have kind of been a little hesitant to let Will Levis go out there. They don't necessarily want to see him out there because they don't want him to get hurt. But there's 2 weeks left, and we need something to root for. We need something to love. DeAndre Hopkins right on the brink of 1,000 yards. So there is that. And by the way, Ricky says he has already been back since leaving. No, he is not. DeAndre Hopkins has not played a game in Houston. He played against the Texans. That was at home in Arizona when he was a member of the Cardinals, but he has not been back to Houston since leaving the Texans. He's on the brink of 1,000 yards. Derrick Henry on the brink of 1,000 yards in what might be the final 2 games of his Titans career. So those are 2 players to watch and root for. But now Titans fans have Will Levis back under center to root for in the development of the rookie quarterback. I'm curious to see how he bounces back from the injury and from what was really a tough game all around against the Houston Texans for the Titans offense last time out. Derrick Henry had 9 rushing yards. Tennessee really didn't get anything going offensively. It was a game that they had in their hands that they lost in overtime. And so hopefully Will Levis can show us some more of the flashes he has shown us throughout this year to make Titans fans confident in him moving forward. And he can build for next season. There's one other player who is coming back, who is trying to build for next season. So that will be, I'll tell you guys who that is, and we'll hear from that player in just 1 minute. But before I do that, reminder that while we are powered by Dobird, we are also powered by SNHU, that's Southern New Hampshire University, because here at A to Z Sports, we're driven by a passion of sports and wanting to continue building our careers in sports. I get asked all the time by people, hey, how'd you get started working in sports? Or what's it like to work in sports every day? And it really is a passion of mine from the jump. And with SNHU Sports Management Program, that's the Southern New Hampshire University Online Sports Management Program, it lets you turn a passion for sports into a degree. It's a degree that can help you prepare for a career as an athletic director, a sports information director, a marketing manager, or any other exciting roles in the sports industry. You can tap into SNHU's network of graduates working in the industry, instant connections when you have graduates working in the industry already, and take an internship or experiential course within the field. Their courses are taught by faculty with real-world experience, which is instant connections again, and they're accredited university with a radically affordable tuition. If you want to work in sports, you're thinking about getting a degree in sports, check out SNHU, link in the bio for our partners at Southern New Hampshire University. Okay, one other player that is coming back this week, hoping to finish the season strong, Kyle Phillips, wide receiver Kyle Phillips. It has been a very disappointing year for Kyle Phillips, up and down. I think there was a lot, again, preseason training camp hype for what Kyle Phillips could potentially be fully healthy. He spent the entire offseason, last offseason, gaining weight, improving his play strength, trying to improve his durability by gaining weight. Wide receivers coach Rob Moore was really, really impressed with him coming into the year. You get to training camp. He's in Minnesota for the preseason game, the second preseason game, and he has his knee taken out on a punt return and has an MCL injury that sends him onto injured reserve. And yeah, Jake says disappointing 2 years. It has been a disappointing 2 years. Kyle Phillips just has never been able to really get it going, has never been able to build momentum. It feels like every time we have a step forward, we take 2 steps back. That's what his career has been to this point. And it really looked like in the middle of this season, like we had found a rhythm with Kyle Phillips and Will Levis and their connection. 10 catches, over 150 yards in the first 3 games that Will Levis was the Titans starting quarterback. Then lack of production against Carolina, lack of production against Jacksonville. Kyle Phillips becomes a healthy scratch for Colton Dowell and the Titans decide, hey, we're going to go with Colton Dowell's special teams value over you, Kyle Phillips. He then comes back, gets hurt in that Texans game, and he has, a hamstring injury, something he called a freak incident, to miss some more time. Well, after missing 2 games, he is finally back ready to go. And fingers crossed for Kyle Phillips that over the next 2 weeks, he's able to gain some momentum and build on, hopefully positive vibes going into the offseason. Here is a conversation that I was a part of with Kyle Phillips from earlier in this week, talking about getting back healthy.
Trending in the right direction?
Yeah, for sure. I feel good. And, like I said earlier, just excited to be out there playing football again, no limitations.
What's, I guess everybody wants to finish strong. How important is it? Do you think momentum carries over from one season to the next? Do you feel like that would be important to finish this year with some momentum?
Yeah, absolutely. We all want to go out on a good note. Get a couple wins and go into off season, at least feeling good about those wins. Last thing you want is, play your last 2 games pretty poorly and have to sit on and think on those. So
this hamstring had any connection to last year's or completely separate?
Nah, it's completely separate. Freak thing happened, but I'm good now. Back to practicing, playing football again.
What's the challenge playing a team twice in 3 weeks?
I think it's kind of nice. They got us the first time, so now we get another chance at them. Didn't have to wait too long. Open back up the notebooks and what we thought they were. Watch film. Get a good game plan going in this game.
So there is Kyle Phillips, and Ryan Fields says glass doll Phillips. He and Burks have no places on next year's roster. Look, I think they will both be on next year's roster. Treylon Burks for sure, Kyle Phillips most likely. They will both be here in training camp, have an opportunity to earn their spot on next year's roster. But that competition for a guy like Kyle Phillips begins now, begins in 2 weeks, in the last 2 weeks of the season, when he might be given a few more offensive snaps and offensive opportunities because the team is out of playoff contention. So show what you can do. Try and establish some value, try and stay healthy, try and make plays and get on the same page as Will Levis and just build momentum into the offseason. Like he said, you don't want to play your final 2 games poorly and then be sitting on that with a bad taste in your mouth for the rest of the year. So this is a guy who I'm keeping my eyes on. Look, Chris Moore can go make a catch, can go make a play. There's guys on this team that could maybe go and score a touchdown or have a big run, and none of it's really going to matter long term. Kyle Phillips is a guy who I think any production he has over the next 2 weeks is significant for his future with the Titans and potentially the Titans' future at the position. Do they need a slot guy in the offseason? That's certainly a need that they could address if they don't feel confident in Kyle Phillips' ability to stay healthy, or even his game when he's on the field. I know they don't love his run blocking. I know they don't love the fact that he's undersized and has no special teams value. So what do they decide to do at that position? Maybe that's still up in the air, and maybe he earns himself a role by playing well over the next 2 weeks. Keep an eye on him. Keep an eye on D-Hop in a return to Houston. And then, of course, keep an eye on the quarterback under center, number 8, Will Levis, hoping, hey, Will Levis versus CJ Stroud. That's marquee to me. That is get your popcorn ready to me. That is a way that when everything else has gone bad for the Tennessee Titans in 2023, last place in the AFC South, the only team in the AFC South significantly out of playoff contention or out of playoff contention at all, Will Levis defeating CJ Stroud in this game in their first matchup or significantly outplaying him is the one way that Titans fans, I think, can enter this offseason with confidence that this team is soon to be back on top of this division and can still hold that over the head of the Texans fans. Yeah, they beat you in the Oilers uniforms. If Will Levis beats CJ Stroud, you got bragging rights for an entire offseason. That's all I got for you guys today. Go ahead and give a thumbs up to the show before you go. That'll help me out. I apologize for the delay. As Jacob Ray says, it's 2 p.m. somewhere. Maybe not, but it's 2:49 or 1:49 p.m. somewhere. I will be back here for the Titan Game Day morning show, going live with Jack Gentry before Sunday's game between the Titans and the Houston Texans. So that's all for me. Till next time, tighten up. I will see you guys later. Peace out.